Okay, so who's...
don't worry. He'll cut that for you.
Who's introing this? I would have cut it if you said it. The deeper we get into the show, the less likely I am to cut something.
You want to do the hard work.
No, because I don't know then how much it ties in, like if it'll ruin the rest of the show. Because we have a bad habit of like...
That's your job.
We have a bad habit of going back like if we do something like that partway through the show, we have a bad habit of mentioning it like offhand throughout the rest of the episode. And so there's no easy way to cut it out without leaving a weird gap in there that like people are like, wait, what are they talking about?
Sounds
Maybe
like a problem you need to fix. Sounds like a you problem.
That could be
As
part
our
of
podcast producer.
That could be part of our charm, where it's like,
alternatively,
what are they talking about?
don't say things you might regret saying.
Yeah, well, sometimes you get in the moment.
Believe it or not, Ryan, there have been multiple times during the show where I've said something and thought, oh, I want to cut that out. And then I don't because it makes for good content. Don't be afraid to look like a bad boy.
Is
a bad.
I was going to say, is that through the power of self-control or through the power of
the power of being able to laugh,
responsibility?
the power of being able to laugh at myself and say, like, look, this might not be the best look for me, but it's funny.
Ryan's figured something out.
And I'm not a good person anyway, so it's fine.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, if you never claimed to be, can the internet cancel you?
You reminded me of one of the things I want to talk about. The Powerpuff Girls thing.
Yeah.
Crap.
Oh, yeah.
I guess we've started at this point.
I didn't.
Hi, welcome to the
stuff.
Unboxed Pop Culture Show, where we open the lid and we reach inside and we pull out all that juicy pop culture in there, and we wring out the news from it and we toss out the rest.
You mean the good stuff?
The good stuff. We feed that to the dogs. I am professional pop culture ringer Matt. You are?
Oh, apparently I'm a zombie.
Zach's a zombie, and Ryan is our professional box opener. He opens the box, I bring out the pop culture, and Zach eats the news. That's how we do it.
That's a weird. What do I open? When I open the box, it's full of wet stuff for you to like.
Yeah, you
wring
open
out the box.
You open up the box, and then I reach in and pull out all the juicy pop culture. I wring out the news,
and you give him a smoothie of pop culture.
So does that make you the necromancer?
What?
Huh?
I don't remember the necromancer when it comes to juicing.
Yeah,
I thought you guys said while I was gone last week, you made a thing about
Dude,
me,
I don't
like,
even
oh,
snorting
you
cocaine
overdosed
to
on
death.
drugs. That's right.
Yeah.
Congratulations on not dying.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't remember what I did yesterday. How am I gonna remember what I said last week?
Yeah. So, yeah, all of that is to say, welcome to our show where we talk about pop culture and news. By pop culture, of course, we mostly mean movies, and by movies, we mostly mean Marvel.
Or Star Wars.
Or Star Wars.
Saw a Pirates game today.
Huh?
Saw a Pirates game today.
Oh,
Did
nice.
you?
We lost.
I thought you said you didn't go.
I did go.
Oh.
I told you. Yes, I went.
I'm
had.
sorry.
I told you I had to go.
Yeah, you did.
Was it a work event?
Yes,
Oh, that's awesome.
but it was non-mandatory. Mandatory.
My work doesn't allow me to do that.
I mean, does your work allow you to do anything?
Our work. I mean, we don't pay
Well,
for.
if-
We don't do events.
If my
here.
job would pay me, then
If you had a job.
if I had a job, you know.
Of course.
Yeah, because we're not we're not a career. We're not a job. We don't
Not
pay.
yet.
Not yet.
We pay in happiness.
Do you feel
We
happy?
spend our time and our money to make this show happen, to deliver happiness directly through the ears of our listeners. We inject that right through the eardrum into the brain, where they process it, and our voices turn into beautiful, beautiful dopamine.
Oh, you're done? Oh, sorry. You're looking at me. I was like, I don't know why I thought there was more. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really. This is going to be odd.
It's okay. It's okay. Buddy.
So-
it's okay. Hey,
Flat.
it's okay.
For those of you that can't see on our audio podcast, Matt is gently caressing Ryan's shoulder in a comforting way.
Do you feel comforted?
Yes. The
Okay.
Flash. Flash had some stuff happen today.
Did it?
Oh wait, let's
Was
talk
it
about
today?
let's talk about Spider-Man first.
Oh, all right. I guess we'll
That's
talk about
quicker.
Spider-Man. Flash to come. What? What?
Nothing. Oh God. I think you're laughing serious.
Well, The thing is there's no context to the previous conversation we had, which made that statement hilarious.
True.
And now the listeners will never know because we don't have a pre-show.
We don't. We should. We should start that again.
No, we shouldn't.
There's some pretty incriminating stuff in this pre-show for all of us.
Not for me.
I still have a year before.
I think there is some stuff for you that's incriminating for you in those. I have to go back and listen to them.
I still have a year before one of the most incriminating things about that doesn't get released. As long as we don't reach a certain amount of listeners and subscribers.
I know exactly. Yeah.
Congruent. Wait, yeah, congruent listeners.
Okay.
Interesting.
If we have, what did I say? 5,000. Was it 5,000 constant listeners?
Yeah.
Every episode, and I will. Okay.
You'll release it.
Yeah. He has special content that he doesn't.
Tome.
The forbidden episode, the lost episode that'll get me canceled. Immediately. Which, funny, talking about it now feels like it's just going to make it worse.
Yeah, it is.
But
You're right.
Anyway,
you brought it up. I just want to make that clear.
Right. So
what news do we have on
Spooderman?
The Spooderman, Batman, Spiderman.
I love Batman, Spiderman.
You too.
Batman, Spiderman's so good. This show's so crap. All right.
Wow.
Collider did an interview with Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
I feel like did I say this the last time we went through the?
You might have. I think you mentioned it
When we went through the list of Spider-Man stuff. I said that rumors now are coming out to the Green Goblins in the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe's coming back. Because we don't know anything about Spider-Man, they won't give us like Sony won't release a trailer or anything like that. Every time like one of these actors even like hints that the word Spider-Man was once in their career, everyone's like, that's a hint. He's going to be in Spider-Man, and this is no different. Collider did an interview, and they were actually. So I was told they were asked not to ask any like special.
So we're 177 days out from Spider-Man. Day of recording.
Is it really that far away?
I didn't think. I thought it was sooner too, but when you put it in terms of days, it does feel like a while. Still,
your dad asked me if it was Doctor Strange that came out first. I think it's I can't remember what me and him.
Doctor Strange comes out in 2022.
Oh, so it is Spider-Man first.
So it's just under 6 months away.
Cool. Okay. Well, anyway, the guy who was doing the interview for Collider said or was not allowed to ask any questions about superhero films.
Yeah.
Which, if you're talking about films that you're currently doing, you don't want to talk about speculation. I would understand what.
Well, okay, but can I play devil's advocate there?
Sure.
What if you're an actor like a Willem Dafoe who does almost no superhero movies and is just tired of answering questions about Spider-Man,
right,
which came out 20 years ago?
That's not devil's advocate if I'm saying the same thing as you.
Oh, is that what you were saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh.
But close.
I thought you were implying that like they wouldn't want him to ask because he might be in one again.
Yeah,
no.
But have you guys ever thought about this? I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I disagree. Maybe they did say that because he is releasing a superhero movie.
Anyway, so basically, the guy got around asking a question about superhero films by just asking Willem Dafoe, what are you working on? Like, what's films have you been working on this year? And
now, isn't that a pretty standard question?
Yeah, right.
In an interview,
right?
Okay.
But anyway, he said, he's working on a film called Inside, which sounds really interesting because apparently Willem Dafoe is the only one in it.
Well, but I mean, I think a lot of actors go through that where they have a movie where it's only them.
Right. Okay.
So that's kind of it's kind of the peak of the hoity-toity
Are we okay,
actor
Matt?
thing.
Are we okay? You just keep trying to knock the wind out of my sails today. Are we okay?
Yeah.
We're all right? Me and you are okay?
Yes, I'm trying to provide counterpoints to what I'm providing the other side of the argument to what you're saying. Because it's like I said when you first showed me this video, it's vague enough that you can read into it from either side.
Right.
And so I don't want to just be going all in on, okay, this means it's Spider-Man.
Sounds
so
like
I want to provide the other side.
Sounds like he's defending himself.
Like that dad and dad are fighting.
Why would I be angry?
He must be angry.
Okay, never mind, Ryan. You're right. Go on.
Anyway.
Well, now we know which dad is mom.
And then, after talking about Inside, which is, I guess, a film about him, there apparently is an animated segment where there's other actors in it, but he said most of, I guess, the film's all about him.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
He didn't name the director, which was weird. He said it was a Greek guy. I think
He said it was a Greek director, but he didn't.
Why didn't he name it? That's weird.
Maybe he couldn't say the name.
That jumped out to me.
Does Defoe do movies for other countries? Because I know that like usually it's Hollywood that's pushing.
You could argue he does, but really a lot of his films that he does now are like indie films. So I mean, technically, indie films are mostly
sometimes local
created for other, for like outside the U.S. Like those would be considered like.
Well, and just because it was a Greek director and they were filming in Greece doesn't mean it was a Greek film. Like it was a Greek, but not in Greek or.
Yeah, that's just kind of what I was wondering because I know that there's there's a bunch of films that are released overseas that never come to the United States. Right. So that's kind of where I was wondering if maybe he had picked up a role over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, he's American. Yeah.
Okay.
He grew up in America. Other than that, he said,
"Okay, I can't. It was not an animated segment. It's fantasy," is what he said in the interview.
Okay.
With other actors in it. I couldn't hold that in. I'm sorry.
Okay. Then after that, he said, end quote. I have the actual quote here.
Okay.
The other things I've been doing lately, I prefer to wait till we're ready for them to come out. Which, as you're right, was just a standard. Like I'm doing other films.
Yeah.
But it's not. I can't talk about them.
The
right
boilerplate. I'm not retiring yet.
But as soon as he said the words, I prefer to wait till we're ready, all the Spider-Man people like came out of the wood, like out of the actual walls, and then were like, "Are you Are you the Green Goblin?"
I have a question. What? Would you say they came out of the walls like spiders?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They climbed right through the holes and came out.
What was that joke? Spice up any party by throwing a bag of brown recluse spiders into a ceiling fan?
What kind of parties do you go to, Zach?
That's a nightmare. I can feel them on my skin.
Listen, I don't go to parties, so I just like have to speculate what other people
Zach,
do in social interactions.
For saying those words.
Okay.
Weirdly enough, speaking of like recluse spiders, that Tim Dillon, my new favorite comic, posted on Twitter a picture of a spider that's not a brown recluse, but he just asks like, "Is this a brown recluse spider?" And you just watching the Twitter, like all of Twitter goes after it. They're all like, "Yes, that is." Like, "No, it's not." And then people are giving like weird facts. Like one person dropped in a fact. They're like, "Yeah, you can tell it's a brown recluse because it has a violin shape on its back." And then one dude's like, "That's too big to be a violin, dummy." It's like, and then one just posted like, "I don't know, but follow this Facebook group." And Tim Dillon's like, "I need to be a part of this now."
That's great.
I just read the post today. I was just watching like how angry the internet is.
They have to take a side.
What is it?
It's just like it's a spider picture. Who cares?
What is it? Isn't it Occam's razor that says put the wrong answer on the internet and you'll get the correct answer faster than if you ask the question?
Something
That's
like
true.
that.
Yeah. Well, the one guy put is like, "Don't mess with those brown recluse. I almost lost my leg." Just like, what?
Maybe leave it untreated.
I guess. Oh man, that's Spider-Man news.
Occam's razor is the principle that in explaining a thing, no more assumptions should be made than are necessary. So basically, don't assume more than you possibly could from what you're given.
Oh my god,
I know what you're talking about, though.
Oh my god, I did it.
What?
I got you. That was the joke. The thing that I'm talking about I just made a joke, and you gave me a serious answer. The thing that I always do to you guys when you make a joke,
because I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember what Occam's razor was. Which one? Because
what?
So I actually don't know the name of it, but it's a joke where you put the wrong answer.
It's Cunningham's law.
Where you put the wrong answer.
It's Cunningham's law is what the Google says it is.
Yeah, so you put the wrong answer on the internet so that you can get the actual answer because more people are out there to tell you that you're wrong than they are to actually help you.
Oh.
So that was the joke. I put out something that I knew was wrong, and I figured both of you would have been like, "That's not Occam's razor, and that was going to be the joke." But it went over your guys'
First
head.
of all,
I did it. I made a
I think
joke.
we all
Well-
know better that I'm an idiot. I don't even know what you're talking about.
The straight man
I guess
made
he
a
did,
joke.
I guess he did get
I don't
me.
even know how to spell either of those words.
Like, as soon as you looked over and said, no, Occam's razor's this, I was like, oh, he didn't pick up on it. I did it. I am successful.
I'm saving Powerpuff Girls for the next episode.
He is right. I wouldn't have looked up what the answer on what the law on the internet was if he hadn't named something
Named
wrong.
something.
I did walk right into that. You exercise Cunningham's law flawlessly.
That's how.
Counterpoint: Cunningham's law doesn't apply outside of the internet, so you didn't get me.
But we are on the internet as of tomorrow.
The show is, but you're talking to me in person, not over text. or
technically
something.
not, because the two mics are between you, right? So that's not you in person.
See, you're talking to the past me, who's now on the internet.
Oh, we're doing this now.
Future me is now on the internet, and this discussion will be recorded as of internet time.
I told a bunch of people about this podcast at the game, and a lot of them were very interested. A lot of them subscribe to us on Spotify. And
Yeah.
this is the first episode they're going to listen to, and I'm gonna be.
Do you have a message for people?
They're all going to see me at work, and they'll be like, "Wow, this show is terrible." Like,
I mean, not really. I feel like the show's going really well.
sure, I'm tired.
I can tell.
It's
yeah.
been a day, man. I don't know what's wrong with me. Something's
Well,
not
probably
right.
the Pirates. They sucked all your energy out because they suck.
Yeah.
Did they lose?
As I told a guy named Paul
on any
today,
given day.
as I told a guy today named Paul today at the game, the Pirates are a fascinating team to me because they're the only professional sports team that actually just accepts walk-ins for like their game. Like a bench
Yep.
warmer in a normal professional team is starting class for the Pirates.
Yeah.
See, the problem with the Pirates is that the owners of the Pirates have made it very clear they are there to make money. They are not there to win championships.
Yeah, and it works. I mean,
And there's
we gave
actually a
them money.
guy. There's actually a guy in Pittsburgh that is trying to push to get them to sell them to him. I don't know how much money he's going to have to throw at them.
Yeah.
But the 1 year that they got threatened, they were either going to remove the Pirates from the league or fine them for not actually trying. They tried, made it to the playoffs, and then immediately went back because they were able to say, "Hey, look, we did try."
Michael
and then they
Keaton
immediately went
should
back.
buy them because I think he's a big fan of them.
Okay.
That'd be awesome.
I'll sign
Michael
the petition.
Keaton, this is your opportunity.
Yep. This is your call to
He'll
action,
just-
Michael.
He'll change their name to the Batmans, and then I don't just because that's all Michael Keaton does anymore is just tell people that he's Batman.
Can we praise the Harley Quinn show for canonizing that that Gotham City's football team are called the Steelers? So Gotham is essentially Pittsburgh,
Right.
In DC canon.
Yes,
Which seems weird because there's not a ton of crime here. Why would you pick this place? Why wouldn't you pick like a place with high crime rates like Chicago?
it's illegal to report
Or New York,
crime
Because they
nowadays.
filmed Dark Knight Rises in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
They're referencing the scene where Bane blows up the football stadium.
Do you remember that scene?
Maybe there's
when
not
a
crime here because
football-
Batman,
Yeah, maybe there's an actual Batman that we don't know.
the actual Batman here.
the Mothman. That's
West Virginia. That's from my home state.
I want to see a film. What happened? What were we supposed to talk about today?
What do you want to see a film, Ryan?
You know what? Let's just talk about our main topic because I'd rather talk about that right now.
Okay.
Anyway, I want to see a film,
Yeah?
and you know what you can do now? You can see films
Can you?
in theaters.
Your eyes are now allowed to be viewing films.
They're allowed. You know, when you walk to the building, they actually let you say, like, you can open your eyes now, sir. And when you open
Wow.
them, it's like looking through a new world.
Oh my gosh!
And we did that
You don't have to wear a blindfold.
like a
anymore to movie.
weekend ago.
Yeah, we did.
Like, what? How many days? 2 days? 3
was-
days ago?
It was a week ago.
Several
Yeah.
days ago.
Oh yeah, because we went on Friday. So when people hear this, it'll be.
We went on Thursday.
Thursday.
We go on Thursday?
We went on Thursday.
Are you sure?
No, we went on
Because
Friday.
We went on Friday.
No, because Friday was game night.
No,
Saturday
Saturday was game night. Are you
Listen.
okay, Zach?
I'm just continuing that previous joke as cover for the fact that I
Here's-
forgot what day we
Yeah, I was
went.
about to say, here's the problem: is at some point you
I'm
stop
just
looking like you're doing a joke and you just look like an idiot. Trust me, I know.
I have experience at that.
Yeah, idiocy is my second language.
So actually, when I was in school, I had an instructor that gave me the best advice ever when it came to a working situation. If halfway through the conversation you realize you're wrong, keep arguing. Because if you can convince them that you're right, they didn't know it either.
That's how Matt and I became friends.
Yeah.
Matt just kept telling me, he's like, I'm your friend. I'm like, I don't know you. I'm your friend. I don't know you. And finally, I was like, okay.
And now we're best friends.
Now, yeah, best friends.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
best friends.
We're the two best friends, or what is it? The three best friends that anyone could ever have. Two best. What's the from? Is it from Hangover?
I don't remember. One Man Wolfpack is from Hangover.
Two best friends that anybody could have. Yeah, I think it's two best friends that anybody
Is
could
it
have.
two best friends?
Because I think
But
he's
that would
saying
make
you're
sense
the two
because
best
you're not
friends.
your own best friend. Well, I guess you
I
should
mean, if you're
be.
narcissistic,
You should be.
My
but
own best friend.
You should be your own best friend.
I'm
but
not- I think it's pretty clear I'm not known for being my own best friend.
no, you're not. And that's why I said you probably only have two, which is me and Zach, to be clear.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's
Aw.
right.
I've been upgraded.
Drew never showed
Yeah.
up for the game night. Did you talk to him?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say. I was like, did you actually
I
talk?
said something on game night that I didn't talk to him, that I forgot to message him.
Oh, that's right. I don't know.
He wouldn't have come anyway. I think he had mentioned something in Discord about how he had something else going on.
Oh, that's
that
right.
night. But anyway.
Friends over.
What-
We went and saw a movie at the theaters.
Yeah, we did.
We're back in theaters.
We're back.
We
Yeah.
can finally see movies again.
We pop
Can
culture
I,
unboxing.
before we talk about the movie itself, I was really looking forward to trying movie theater popcorn again. Yeah.
Did they pre-butter the popcorn?
I don't think they did.
It-
I have a feeling
mine
they didn't.
Tasted pre-but like it tasted like I already had butter on mine.
Yeah?
Because I wanted the full experience of what we normally go with. By the way, first of all, let's just get this get this part out of the way. What was it like? Did you enjoy going back to theaters?
Yeah.
Like, was it everything you dreamed of?
I mean,
it's nice to be able to.
Go out in public again.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. To be honest with you, like that's
House arrest.
that's to me. It was something that was nice to be able to be like. You guys were like, "Hey, we're gonna go out and see a movie," and I was like, "Oh, I get to go out with my friends and watch a movie and hang out with those guys." And it's not a. I enjoy being at home, but I also like it when people ask me to go out and do things because it gets me out of my house.
Yeah.
Because like I'm an introvert, so that's what I
Yes.
do. So like you guys being like, hey, look, we're gonna go see a movie, and like we're actually going somewhere where it's not gonna be at one of the two places like I always am. I was
Yes.
just like, this is great.
yeah.
And our theater now has old fashions.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they have them. They have them in little bottles.
Robinson has a. Oh my
Yep.
lord.
What movie we're going to see next? Oh, we already know. It's Black Widow.
Yep. I like how in the theater, you when the Black Widow trailer like started to play, you leaned over and said, Ryan, are we gonna go see that? I'm like, are you an idiot? Yes, we're gonna go see that. Like, of course we're gonna see
My
that.
joke fell flat there. I was more implying that we're going to go to the theater in the very near future because Ryan just found out they have old fashioned.
Oh, well,
But I mean, Black Widow's in the very near future. It's
right.
what?
July 9th.
So 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'd go with you guys if I could get to drink.
Yeah,
You do get to drink.
So first of all, I think the one thing it's nice is I didn't get the experience I thought I was going to get. I thought it was going to be like going to the movie theater for the first time ever. That
Yeah.
joy wasn't there. I will say, seeing movies in a bigger screen, louder sound, all that, it fit. I think we went to see the perfect movie to go back to theaters
Yeah.
for.
which on reflection was not as good as I thought it was after seeing it.
What did we go see?
Really, I thought it was better than
The
the first
Hitman's
one.
Wife's Bodyguard. And
I thought it was better than the first one for me.
but okay, here's my challenge: is strip away the banter between Samuel L. Jackson, Salma Hayek, and Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
And what do you left with?
Just a straight action movie.
yeah, an action film.
Yeah, but with a villain who's completely two-dimensional.
Right.
His only defining features was he dressed flamboyantly and was super evil.
Right.
The climax borrows cues from Six Underground, like heavily.
Right. Okay.
And then the plot, and then there's just all these issues with the plot. Is like, so he uses a diamond drill to drill into a box, and uses that to interface with a network somehow, and that causes things to explode. It's a really pretty.
Have
weak
you ever
movie.
seen all of the action movies that Antonio Banderas has ever been in?
I saw Legend of Zorro.
Okay, if you watch Antonio Banderas movies, this was exactly what
Right.
you expected from Antonio Banderas.
I was
Okay.
gonna say like everything about it. So I realized it wasn't until they did the amnesia thing that I realized, oh, this movie's parroting other stuff. Because
Yeah.
right, Antonio Banderas' action films are all pretty much the same, a dumb, really weak plot. And then that like I had amnesia and everything like that. That's as you said, it's overboard, but that's also a standard film, like romantic comedy film.
Yeah.
That Antonio Banderas always is in.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this film's parroting a lot of like, and that's where the jokes come from. And also, I don't think when I walked into this theater that I think I was going to get a solid film.
Oh yeah,
solid plot.
You're right. There was a lot of cool action scenes.
That's the thing is like when
I do feel bad for Gary and Johan.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary and Johan.
Yeah. When you
Peace be with you.
But like you asked, like when you strip away the three characters and their banter, what do you get? That's not the point. The only reason you're seeing that film is for those three characters and their banter.
That's fair, yeah.
The stuff going around it is just.
But I think
filler.
that's. I mean, again, fun movie. But if your entire movie is just Ryan Reynolds, Salma Hayek, and Samuel L. Jackson be themselves.
I mean, it worked for me.
It did. And I laughed a lot during it.
I loved it.
I probably won't watch it again, though.
And I think that's especially like right at the beginning when Ryan Reynolds is like, I'm on sabbatical. I'm not using any firearms. It's like it's just an over the top thing where like this is just gonna be a fun. You're just here to entertain yourself. Like I'm not here to like break it down and like go through it, but like it is kind of fun where like the things that you're looking for are the jokes that are within it, and that's the kind of thing that you're critiquing,
right?
Rather than it actually being like a plot based thing.
I will say July, what like the trailers that were at the beginning of the film, the man, July is a stacked month for films.
Yeah,
got first Black Widow coming out,
which will be fun.
Then we got Snake Eyes, the origin film.
That
for
one
Snake
came
Eyes.
out of nowhere for me.
Really?
Yeah,
That's surprising. You guys didn't hear about that?
No.
I saw about it. They launched the first teaser trailer back when they announced the toys. So they were like Hasbro was doing a special event, and they were like, "Well, we're going to show the GI Joe toys that we were working on."
Yeah.
And they were just like they made a deal to show the film trailer after they showed off the toys, which could be kind of like
Space Jam the week after.
Yeah, oh my man, did you watch? I mean, that trailer didn't show anything. Did you see the other Space Jam trailer? All of the jokes that they show in the Space Jam trailer are cut and paste from the original Space Jam.
Really?
The exact same things happen. It's like, wait, what are we doing here? It's very strange, and no one's talking about it in the like. They're all like ignoring that in the comics. They're like, man, it's great to get my childhood back. I'm excited. Or it was just straight up hate because it's LeBron James. But I was like, you guys don't see the bigger issue here?
Well, and I do think that like if they make it depends on how they do it. If it ends up effectively being the same movie but with LeBron James, it's just kind of gonna be like, okay, like I don't know why you did this. But if it's gonna be like a continuation of there's like another group of people that are taking over Looney Tunes.
Well, in this case, it's not. It's literally the internet. That's what I understand. It's like the internet sucks LeBron James in, and I guess makes him like play basketball.
It's only gonna work if Bill Murray and Michael Jordan show up.
They're not gonna show up.
Then it's not gonna work.
Yeah. Fast and Furious 9.
Fast and Furious 9.
That's this weekend. So you guys free?
Not this weekend. I'm not. I'm going out of town.
Okay, what about next week?
Next week I can probably.
I will be free next
going
week.
out of town next weekend too.
What good are you guys? Wait, are you both gonna be here Wednesday?
Wednesday?
I'll be here Wednesday.
The episode?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, all right. You're just out.
What day did you want to meet for?
I don't
Fast
know.
and Furious?
Never mind. We'll figure this out after the show. What else do we have to talk about? Because we have more show to do.
Is this really it? This is the meat and potatoes of the episode?
Is
Just
it?
Like,
Did
that was what I asked. That's what this was supposed to be. The movie theater thing was supposed to be the meat and potatoes. Do you people really not have anything else to talk
It's
about?
a movie theater.
Going to theaters?
I can talk about Rick and Morty.
We can talk about Rick and Morty.
Let's do it. I just watched it.
Season 5 started
Refreshing my brain.
this weekend.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was. I actually really enjoyed that they went with a Narnia theme, where like every time they go through the portal,
Bizarre.
it's so great because it's two different time speeds. So every time he goes through the portal, it's like for him, time is going super super slow.
Yeah.
And then when he goes back, like no time has passed on his time, but when he goes back into their dimension, it's been decades. And
Yeah.
Which is weird. I just watched a movie on Netflix recently where that's the actual plot. Where these teenagers and stuff, they go like spelunking in a cave. Once they go through the cave, though, time outside the cave moves like every minute's a year. So as time passes, like a year is passing. So like they end up being billions of years in the future, and aliens save them at the end of it. Like save them.
That's weird.
It's crazy. It's a crazy film. But so when I was seeing that happen, I was like, this is really, really meta for what I just watched recently.
Yeah.
that's funny.
It's
Well, and I think, to be honest with you, the thing that I noticed in the show that I enjoyed about it is like if you're watching the society that.
By the way, to put a pin in that, if you haven't yet, before we hear us talk about it, you can go to YouTube and watch it for free on Adult Swim's channel.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about the whole episode. So if you don't want to get it spoiled, pause the show, go watch it on YouTube,
And then come back.
and then
Please
of course come back.
Please come back.
Please.
We just want you to stop listening to us and go somewhere else.
And
Yeah.
then come back.
Watch something that's better than us. But joke's on you. You can't find anything.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, we're that good. But so I think one of the things that I really like the theme that they did with the world that he steps into
Yeah.
is throughout the generations, like the older generation is constantly telling the younger generation, hey, there's something that is going to happen, and it has always happened, and you have no idea what it is, and you think you know better, but you really don't.
Is there a political similarity here?
No, I think we do this like
It looked like you were going
you-
that way, so I was just waiting for
oh
it.
no, I think it's one of those things where like when you're younger, you think you know everything. So like one of the parts in the episode is like it's like a few times that he's come back and forth, and like the older like king is like looking at his young son, and his young son is like, you are wasting everything. In like wasting our time, our resources, and everything on something that doesn't exist. He's like, I don't think you understand. It's there, and it is going to come back if you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
And then the kid betrays the kingdom, kills everyone, and then the kid comes back and slaughters everyone again. It's like, holy crap. And like, but I really enjoy that theme because it does that a couple times.
Yeah.
Where it's like the kids of the first guy were just like, yeah, no, there's no person, you're just nuts. And then they're like, oh man, this really happened. And like as they get older, they start to realize, oh, there is something dangerous that's out there, and you should be prepared for when it comes.
Yeah.
And it was just this really neat cycle that they got to show in a very short period of time, where it was like, pay attention. The people that have been around have seen things. They might not be exactly correct. Because like in this case, Morty was just coming back for wine.
Yeah.
But they did know that something was going to happen, and Morty did come back and slaughter them like 3 times.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one of those things where it's like, hey, there's something dangerous out there that you need to pay attention to and be prepared for, because you don't know if it's going to come in your lifetime. It came when I was a kid. It hasn't come yet, but it will come back.
I just like
You and I had 2 very different takeaways from that episode.
I really loved like just that, like you said, the first or like the third time Morty comes back, that kid, he runs away from the cat, like gets kicked out of the castle, and then like gets trained to be a murderer, and then kills his dad, then gets killed, and the sorceress, once Morty comes back, just says, he's real, God exists. Cuts him off right before he
Morty
kills him
kills
right
everyone.
before he says like God exists.
Really, neither of you guys' main takeaway was he controls the police. He
Right.
controls police.
Oh, that
I
was
was
so
that's there. That's on the list. I'm getting there.
It's my main, like that is the first thing I will like, the first thing you guys want to talk about is like the implications of this world where Morty.
No, I was just saying that was the big joke. I'll get to the police thing. We're getting there, Matt. You got to be patient.
I can't. It's Mr. Nimbus.
that was one of those things. It was kind of like the VAT episode, where you're like, okay, how are they going to make a VAT episode? It's like, how on earth are you going to make Nimbus funny? And then it's like, but they did it.
He controls police.
It's so funny. There's a hilarious joke with Jerry right at the beginning where they're like, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna call the police. He goes, don't. He controls them, and he goes, yeah, sure. He goes, I don't know how that's relevant, but I'm white, and then there's 3 cop cars in his front yard.
That's
immediately.
that's the thing I like the most. Is
It was so funny.
I don't know why that's relevant, but I'm white.
Jerry, he controls the police.
It's so great.
Oh.
Like, of course, obviously. Are you stupid? Of course,
Yeah.
the king of the ocean controls police.
That's the thing that was weird about the whole show is it made me feel dumb for questioning that. Like the show makes you feel dumb for questioning. It's like, everyone's just like, of course he controls the police.
Yeah, like obviously that's his power. He has power over water and police. Duh.
Which is, oh, boy.
And then the payoff is incredible when Summer's just super confused. And Jerry just is like, Summer, you idiot. He's Mr. Nimbus. He controls the police. And then it just cuts.
I hope this becomes a thing at the beginning of every season premiere where they're just yelling at Summer for something.
Yeah. Someone pointed that out. This is now the second time in a row that Summer has ruined
the season premiere.
It's just like,
Did you not know?
destroy the shell so she just blows it.
Yeah. What should I do? Should I blow it?
How was I supposed to know? It's like he just told you that.
So, did you guys catch what the implication of this episode might mean for Rick this season?
No, I mean, he's
I mean,
going
it looks
to
like
jail.
this season's going to be a big deconstruction of Rick as a god. Like,
Oh yeah,
he failed a bunch in this
practically
episode.
is a god.
He is, but then as soon as he tries to fight in this other dimension, he gets all of his implants ripped out. That's where all the cuts and stuff he has are from.
Right.
It's where he's had all those implants, like in
Right.
his arm and his side and his shoulder.
Well, I think part of that was Morty left his tech there, and then that society over time
And that
created
could've been
that
it, too.
over time. But I do think that's. I think this season is going to be because they have more direction because they know that they're going to get more seasons and they now know that they're going to have 6 more seasons after this one. Like,
Wait, really?
Yeah.
because
They're gonna have 6 seasons after this one.
Adult Swim
Yeah,
put it in a
70
episode
episodes.
order.
Yep.
10 episode so 7
Seasons.
10 episode seasons.
So
What?
unless they throw a curveball and then like at the end of the season they're like, hey, guess what? The season has 20 episodes. Like, but still, it's you got 70 episodes.
Even then, oh my god,
Yeah.
I didn't realize this show. I thought this show was not as popular as it was.
It's in its 5th season. You don't get that far without being pretty good.
What's the thing is, I thought that it lost its after the McDonald's thing.
Yeah.
That was more
pretty
people being
sure-
mad at the fans than
Yeah.
it was the show not being good.
Right, but I was pretty sure that was what was going to kill the show, was that the bad fans were going to ruin it for everybody.
I'll be honest. I think the hiatus was the long wait between seasons 3 and 4, and then the hiatus in season 4 were the best things the show could have done.
Well, yeah,
because it let that fan stuff die off. Like,
No,
I
that's
only
true.
just recently started watching it again, and I didn't even know season 5 was coming out, and I just happened to
Neither
watch
did I.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't
And
know
then- and
season
get
5
caught
was
up.
even.
And I forgot how brilliant. Like, and I went back and watched the show from the beginning. I forgot how brilliant, especially some of the season 2 stuff is.
See, I didn't even know the show had made it to season. I didn't even know there was a 4th season. I never watched the 4th season.
Yeah, I hadn't seen any of it.
It's one of those things where they do a bunch of references to other movies and other things. So like this one was a Narnia reference.
Yeah.
And what's really good about it is that if you don't understand Narnia, all of the jokes still come across.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that like this series does well with is for every random thing that they do, if you don't know the reference to it, the jokes still make sense. And that's one of those things I think people forget whenever they do a parody of something, is that they're like, oh, well, the people, like, I know this, so I'm going to put an inside joke in here. Then somebody says something that doesn't make sense, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. I love too how how Morty kind of calls everything out. But when he's in a white room with a tree, and he says, "I don't want any of your stripped down Sundance sci-fi bullcrap."
Yeah.
It's just a brilliant line. That is half of the episodes of Rick and Morty.
There was another. So like back when I first was watching Rick and Morty, I was a different person, obviously.
Yeah.
I knew who I was, but I always believed that how Rick acts, that eventually I was just going to become that like hateful person to other people, just not want to be around anybody. But there was like a line that he said in here. I was like, oh man, like that sounds like old man me would probably say. It's when Mr. Nimbus is like trying to like relate to him, and he just stops it mid, just like, screw you, man, like don't try to relate to me with your dumb bullshit. It just cuts over to a new scene. I was like,
No, it was don't establish canonical backstory with me.
Just like, wow.
Because Nimbus name dropped his wife.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was one of the things that I actually saw like immediately online. They were like, Nimbus confirms that Diane was there, and like everyone was going off
Which
on
we
that.
didn't, because his story to the investigator, he said that her name was Diane, but we didn't know how much that was true.
Yeah, at the
And so
beginning of
Nimbus
season
just
3.
confirmed it.
Well, and I think that's one of those things where like,
And also, people are saying when he says that I liked your other one better. What was his name? Kyle.
Kyle,
yeah.
There's people thinking that might pay off at some point in this season.
Oh, it probably will. They don't do things like they don't
No.
drop things like that without.
Yeah.
I mean, that's evil Morty. Like evil Morty was
Yeah.
like the end of the second season, and it didn't pay off. Till
No, they set that up to get paid off later.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
at the very
it's-
end of the episode, they show him
Right,
taking
but
off the
that-
eye patch and
right, but that didn't end up playing out till like the end of season 3, right?
Well,
yeah, and it didn't get brought up again in season 4.
Yeah.
So,
no, it did.
did it?
Season 4, or no, I'm sorry. Evil Morty showed up at the end of season 1, correct?
I think
Was
so.
that it?
And then he shows up in the Ricklantis mix-up,
Yeah,
which is because he takes over the Citadel.
I know. Yeah, I know that part. But that's the last we saw of him.
Yes, but it also depends on how quickly they want to accelerate this and how much they want to get into with Evil Morty. They could bring him
Yeah.
up this season and have the rest of it kind of pointing to him.
Oh, what if
No,
evil
this-
Morty's just Kyle?
I think what's happening this season
That
is
might
I think
be it.
we're gonna get some reconciliation on Space Beth.
Yeah,
we
because
don't know
Space
much.
Beth's gone. We don't
Is
know
she?
where she is.
Who's Space Beth?
Season 4 stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did
I'll
you
rewatch
get
the
to the
show.
end of season 3?
No.
Oh, all right. Well, so Beth's all upset, and she's like, and Rick's like, I can make a
Oh,
clone
this
of
is
you.
the clone thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like
Yeah.
a clone.
Am I
One
a
clone
clone?
went off to have adventures, and one lives.
We
as
didn't
a
know who
horse
the clone
doctor.
is.
Right, but we don't.
Yep. So-
but one of them go. Okay.
And so
Yeah, I
the
saw
drama
it on
comes to a
Adult-
head in season 4 at the end of it. But now we haven't seen her again yet. So we're probably going to get payoff for that. And I think we're going to see more of the transformation of Morty into Rick and Rick into Morty, where Rick is becoming softer and Morty's becoming harder.
That'd be kind of cool.
Well, they've been setting it up for a while. As the show's gone on, Morty's been more and more of Rick.
Forward. Yeah.
I mean, he just killed a whole society.
Yeah.
Twice.
And there is something to be said. It depends on how they want to do it. Because one of the things that they mentioned when Rick tells Morty, hey, look, the Morty waves cancel out the Rick waves. Like, there's a way to look at that to say, well, they're the same waves at different times. Because
Yeah.
if you've ever did electronics on an oscilloscope, if you have the same waves at different times, you zero out.
Right.
So it's very possible that I went back in time. That's why you have that time travel stuff up on the shelf. But it also depends on, because you have time travel and you have multi-dimensional, it depends on how they want to do it. It may be one of those things where one of the Mortys finds out that he is Rick and jumps that. And then now you have a multi-dimensional Morty finding out early that he's Rick, rather than transitioning into Rick and realizing, oh, I'm Rick.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? So instead of building himself into it and then like guiding himself to be Rick, if he is the Rickest Rick, then he would have to fight that Mortiest Morty.
No, wait,
right?
no, because if the Rick that we are watching is the Rickest of the Ricks, wouldn't that make his Morty the Mortiest? I think
Which
he
would be
directly
Kyle.
says it. No, not necessarily.
But-
the
well,
Morty
okay,
we're watching right now would be the Mortiest Morty.
Okay, so but that assumes that that's the Rickest Rick's original Morty.
Well,
It might not
we
be.
know it's not.
It might not be.
Well, we know that because they make that joke, or they bring that up in like season 2 when they meet with the council. Is like
Yeah.
he brings like we will replace it again with another Morty, and Rick explains that he has jumped universes before, but Morty has not. So
Yeah.
like when they first kill themselves and Rick makes them bury their
To
dead
escape
bodies.
the Cronenberg place. Yeah.
That Rick has done it many times. Morty has never done it.
Well, Rick,
So, like, that-
Rick said you can do it, and you only
Yeah.
have a handful of times you can.
Right,
So it was
yeah.
an option. It's not obvious whether or not he actually.
No,
Well, I
think-
think they make it very clear that he's done it before.
No, I don't think they do. I just watched it. I think it's pretty clear from start to finish that we've been following the same Rick and Morty.
Okay.
And that
From
they're
the
the
beginning.
same exact ones. They're just in different. They're just now on Earth C-137.
They're Rick and Morty from C-137, but
But does the Citadel know they're not the Rick and Morty from that Earth?
I don't think the
I don't-
Citadel cares because they're multidimensional.
I think they
They're
would.
with-
They
they're
want to know
within
what
every
happened to
dimension.
if they found out the original Rick and Morty for that planet died, and these ones replaced them.
Well, they know
like-
because they went to the Cronenberg planet,
Yeah.
and that's part of what Rick is saying, where they're like, we killed Sanchez, he's a terrorist. And
Oh, that's right.
right, and they're like, so they know that
Because
he
Summer
exists,
ends up
but
at the
they've
Cronenberg one by
yes, because
accident. That's right.
they've destroyed the Citadel originally, so it's one of those things where like Rick destroyed himself
Yeah.
infinitely, and then now they're back to
Does it also count as being the same Rick because technically the same Rick that we know, I mean he changed he jumped consciences because in like the one episode it shows him when he's arrested and that thing with when they find out
Yeah.
about his wife's death.
Yeah.
He jumps different bodies, different Ricks until he gets to the Rick he's looking for.
So I think
So is
the
it
thing that
technically mean
matters
it's the
there
same
is the
Rick?
consciousness.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I think that's one of those things where like you can make the argument, like there's doofus Rick. So like there are Ricks of different intelligence levels.
Right.
So like I think the argument that they're making there is that it's the consciousness that allows you to be intelligent, not necessarily the body.
Right.
Yeah.
So like when there's an episode in season 4 where Rick keeps dying, I don't think you've seen it. It's hilarious. He keeps ending up in fascist worlds.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So like he dies and he comes out and he's like
Why does it always come back to Nazis?
yeah, he's like, wow, why is this like why is it's like every single universe that still has like a Phoenix program is a Nazi universe, like for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's like the worst. The
Phoenix
worst
program
world-
is his cloning, where he has the clone
Right.
bots in the
yeah.
basement.
So, it's actually a really good episode.
Yeah, it is.
The Phoenix that's a pretty clever name for
So, but he destroyed that one because of the Little Rick situation.
Yeah.
Where he's like, okay, the Phoenix program isn't going to work, so he destroyed it. But in all of the fascist universes, it still stays.
Yeah.
And there's one that's not a fascist universe that he ends up in, and it looks like it should be the worst one possible. But like they're all like super caring and empathetic. And then
Great. Yeah, great episode.
It's so good because
so yeah, he's had a lot of different bodies, this Rick.
Right.
But it's consciously it's the same one.
yeah, and
Okay.
I think that's the thing that I think is interesting. I think Evil Morty is actually the Mortiest Morty, but you may not want the Mortiest Morty to fight. So the Rickest Rick might have to
God,
defeat the Mortiest
this
Morty.
conversation is bonkers to anyone that doesn't know Rick and Morty.
Yes,
When you're
Yes,
talking
it
about
is.
like the Rickest Rick.
I got it. Let's turn pop culture unboxing into a Rick and Morty podcast.
Oh, we could talk for days. But I do think that that's
I
part
think
of
we're
it.
following a good formula with TV right now. When the first episode of the show comes out, we talk about it, and then we give it a couple more episodes, then we talk about it again. Like next week, we're going to be talking about Loki, because that'll be about halfway through the season.
We're already halfway through.
Is it only 6 episodes?
I think so. I think Loki's
jeez.
only 6 episodes.
So I
Well,
guess
if we
next
wait
week we'll
another-
talk about it, because I haven't watched the episode 3 yet.
But yeah, I think
And then we'll do the same for Rick and Morty once it gets to
Yeah, that'd be
episode
good.
4. or
That'd
so,
definitely be
or
good.
5.
but to finish off that thought line,
Yeah.
just to kind of like streamline it, I think the Rickest Rick and the Mortiest Morty. Morty finds out early that he's actually Rick. Rick tries to beat him, thinks he
As in
beats
he's
him.
going to grow up to be Rick?
Yes, but doesn't. He now becomes Evil Morty, or Kyle,
Evil Kyle.
Why do you
So-
think that Kyle is evil Morty?
because Nimbus knows. Nimbus, if I think Phoenix person, Nimbus, and all the people that Rick used to fight with all know that he's interdimensional, and all of his interdimensional people may know him specifically because he's the Rickest Rick who is the terrorist.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very possible that happened. But anyway,
Is
I
Phoenix
think
person still alive?
Yeah, he shows up right at the
Yes.
end of season 4.
Oh, does he?
So Rick, I think, jumps to the universe where he has maybe not the Mortiest Morty, but the best Morty
Yeah.
that can actually beat the Mortiest Morty.
Yeah.
And that might be why he transfers. And he's like,
But
when
could
he
you
has
argue
moments of honesty, he's like, well, I'm a terrible, silly old man. Where he's like, well, I thought that I could be immortal, but I can't.
Yeah.
And also, like, I screwed everything up.
But couldn't you argue that because this Morty could beat that Morty, that would make him the Mortiest Morty?
That, I mean, yes,
Because
that
you could
that
argue
could be
that
true.
Evil Morty is too close to Rick. Is like he's too much.
So he'd
like
be the
him.
Rickest Morty.
Almost that. Yeah.
Such a like. I don't know,
Welcome
man.
to the cluster.
I'm just trying to like.
It's such a weird show.
I'm just trying to like picture if someone like finds this billions of years in the future when they've never heard of Rick and Morty, they just hear
What's
this is
going
the
on?
episode they pick up and like, wow, this is these guys are
Well, that's the cool
Man.
thing about there's potential time travel
Have an aneurysm.
and it's multidimensional. So
Yeah.
there's an infinite amount of timelines like overlapping with an infinite amount of universes. So like,
Why do I taste copper?
but yeah. So
Sorry, that's the best joke I could throw in there.
So
Sorry.
yeah,
that's kind of where your brain
You,
ends up.
you all
The-
giggled and then just looked at me like it
the
was like
summary is that the Rick and Morty season premiere was good.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to what they do with the rest of it. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we
really.
wrap up?
I'm gonna say
Ryan's ready to go.
No, I'm gonna say I was gonna talk about the Powerpuff Girls thing. but
Okay.
Just because I read the script and my God, is it crazy?
Why?
Crazy good or crazy
no,
bad?
it's so bad. But it's like the ideas, like even if you were like a super woke person, you're like, whoa, what this like where did we? How did you get here? How did at one point, like. Did you watch Powerpuff Girls when you were a kid?
Yeah, I like
So
the
it
show.
wasn't my favorite show when I was a kid, but I watched it because it was on Cartoon Network. I was a kid.
I'd seen
Cartoon.
some too.
At one point, like how at one thing it mentions that Professor Utonium, who is their dad who created them, is they're grown up in this series. So it takes place after all the stuff, all that actually happened. There, now they're just grown ups.
Okay.
And like he's selling merchandise for them, so like he forces them to be superheroes.
Oh,
just so he can like make money off of them.
man.
It destroys the series.
The woman who is the mayor's assistant, secretary. What was her? I can't remember what her name is. She's dating him too. She's dating
Miss Bellum.
Yeah, she's dating Professor Utopia off and on again. At one point, Bubbles says to a sleeping, not Buttercup, but whatever the other one's name is, says to her, trying to wake her up, says, "Be careful." It's like, wake up. If you don't wake up, I'm selling your nudes. And then she doesn't wake up. She says, wow, worked once before. I was like, what is this show?
What?
I will collect the script. I'll collect all the information. And then the next
See,
episode,
this
I'll talk
sounds-
about it with you. It's bananas.
It sounds horrible. Like
Yeah.
it's one
Mojo
of those
Jojo
things-
dies. They show Mojo Jojo dying, and he has like a son named Jojo. And apparently, from what you understand from the script, Jojo's just a human.
Jojo Jr.
Jojo's just a human, and he's mayor of the town. And like at one point, he has like a pet monkey. And the show ends like a way to like pump you up for the next episode. As he like looks at the monkey, he's just like, "We almost had him, right, Dad?" So it's just like this pet monkey is actually
That's-
Mojo Jojo.
That's weird.
It's so, dude, it's so crazy.
Have you ever seen a play called Dog Sees God?
What? No.
Okay. It sounds exactly like what they did to the Peanuts characters.
Oh,
Oh,
to
wait, we
Powerpuff
talked about
Girls.
this. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just the script's so crazy because like
Making an adult for the sake of being an adult.
Buttercup
Yeah.
is a lesbian, I think. So there's like a sex scene with her and another woman. It's like, and this is for the WB. Like this is like on TV. It's ridiculous. I'll get the script and like we'll sit down and talk. I was reading through it and like, boy, it's crazy.
Now, see,
it's crazy.
Something
the
that would be
lines.
cool to watch would be to watch these three genetically engineered girls grow up and try and live in a world where like they're genetically engineered people. Like that would be an interesting story in its own. But
that's-
they decided to make them like
Well, that
normal
was the-
people. Like,
that was the thing is like they were trying. So the reason that this is like a big discussion point for a lot of people right now is because CW announced that they were going to be they announced when we're rewriting the pilot like
Oh, good.
completely from the ground up. And we're like, was it really that bad? So then it leaked and I was like, oh yeah, it was bad. It's like, oh, some people, like I was watching videos of people talking about it and like one girl, she read like, this is physically hurting me just to read because it's like it's bizarre. It's really bizarre.
yeah, like well, and that's one of those things where it's like it's one of those things where if they wanted to create it and say it's inspired by the Powerpuff Girls, I think that's fine. But like it's not the Powerpuff Girls. Like You had a dad that cared about his daughters that now doesn't care about them and thinks of them only as money makers, and then you have 3 girls that are trying to be good acting heroes in the world are now like threatening to like send each other's nudes out on the internet. That's ridiculous.
Well, at one point, like the girl, like what starts like what is like the main problem with them is like they killed Mojo Jojo on accident, like by like a rope. They accidentally kill him. Supposedly, that's what you're supposed to believe until you find out later, for some reason. But like right behind me, I put up a picture of one of the scripts, and it's the script of Bubbles walking in on Buttercup, having sex with a girl, which I guess is like her girlfriend, but she like they all spiral out of control because they killed Mojo Jojo, and nobody like the town immediately just turns on him and says, "You guys are monsters." Be like, "Have you?"
What
if this
bizarre...
takes place in the Powerpuff Girls world, I'm pretty sure as a kid I remember worse than just like Mojo Jojo's dead, a monkey with a big brain.
Oh darn! You stop the guy that's constantly terrorizing our town.
Yeah,
well,
right.
It's kind of like the it's kind of like the Batman thing with Joker. It's like at a certain point, kill the man.
Yeah.
This, like, I'm going to read you. This is an actual line from the script. This is what Bubbles says to someone. I'm going to have to turn the mic around to like read this. So this is a line from Bubbles in it. And there's also a character named Drake. Nobody knows who Drake is, but we're assuming it's actually the rapper.
Well,
Drake.
It looks like it's whoever leaked it is Drake.
Maybe.
Because Drake's highlighted.
Right.
That's what you do with scripts.
So Bubbles says, "Look, we loved being Powerpuff Girls, but sometimes we wanted to be other things too. Like in Dirty Dancing, Baby wanted to join the Peace Corps, but she also wanted to be a fancy slut, and her dad didn't get it." That is not the. That's not what Dirty Dancing's about. Just saying.
Like, yeah, that's well, and that's one of those things where like. We have this thing that we've been doing for probably the last decade now, where we take things that we grew up with and then we just ruin them. And it's like I don't want to watch that.
Well, it's crazy because there's no idea who this is for. Like here,
yeah. What's the target audience?
How about you two? Why don't you two? I just put a picture.
Let's do
of
it next week, like you said.
Okay.
Why don't you pull this all together? Because we're getting to an hour now.
Okay.
And we'll do this next week. We'll talk about this and Loki. So, yeah. That episode ended up having enough in it, I think. Right, Ryan? Are you happy now?
Yes, it had a lot in it.
Okay.
That was good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Thank you all for listening. If you want to find more... What?
I was just
okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
For those of you that can't see.
You can go to social media or www.popcultureunboxing.com or anywhere... any social media, Pop Culture Unboxing. You can find me on Twitter, Matt Ross VO, or on Twitter or on Twitch, Jan Jinkle.
Riki Tiki 252 at what's that streaming thing? Twitch, and on Instagram, and then Ryan Beatty. If you just search that name, I come up. That or a pop star comes up.
Well, yeah, whichever.
Roll the dice.
You can find me at little_relief, LIEF. Make sure that underscore's in there. I am not a middle-aged Brazilian woman.
I can confirm he is not. Thank you all for listening. I love you.
Bye.
Have fun.